Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nadia Najwa binti Ismail. My metri number is 2022532 and I will be presenting the introduction of economic system. Economic system refers to a way of organizing the relationships between individuals, firms, and governments in order to make decisions when faced with economic problems such as what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. There are four types of economic systems. Firstly, market system. Secondly, common system. Thirdly, Islamic system. Lastly, mixed system. And I will explain about the market system. Market system. What is market system? Market system is also known as capitalism, free enterprise, or laissez-faire. It is an economic system where individuals make all the economic decisions without any government control. Thus, the economy is categorized as economic freedom where an individual can be the buyer, seller, employee, or employer at their own wish. In this market, buyers and sellers will meet and enter into transactions. The price system is the main mechanism for any economic activity in this market system. Moving on to characteristics of market system. Firstly, private ownership of resources. Every individual in the country has the right to acquire private ownership of resources. They can accumulate property and use it as they choose. Next, freedom of enterprise and choice. Individuals are free to trade, invest, and organize to produce within the country's legal framework. Then, consumer sovereignty. Producers have to produce goods and services which follow consumers' current tastes and preferences to maximize their sales and profit. Next characteristic of market system is competition. Competition between producer and their competitor will result in a better quality of their product and there is also greater efficiency. For instance, nowadays, competition between Apple and Samsung has resulted both companies to use new technology in order to make the better phones to their consumers and also to maximize sales of their product. Next characteristic is government intervention. There is very limited government intervention in this market system. The country's role is to stabilize the economic conditions of the country. Lastly, price system. Price mechanism means the free operation of demand and supply forces without any intervention. All economic processes of consumption, production, exchange, savings, investment, and distribution work under this price mechanism system, which is labeled as the invisible hand by Adam Smith.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Syafiqah binti Tumiran. My metric number is 2029884. I will be presenting on the economic system the 5 fundamental questions. The first fundamental question is what goods and services will be produced. The goods and services produced at a continuing profit will be produced and those produced at a continuing loss will not. In the market system, the business must create profit. To calculate profit is total revenue subtract with total cost, which the economic profit determined by total revenue greater than the total cost. Highly competitive market forces farmers in the farming industries to choose the lowest cost of production technique. The second fundamental question is how will the goods and services output be produced? In combination and ways that minimize the cost per unit of output, economic profit indicates a business prosperity and promotes expansion of business. The most efficient production depends on the available technology and prices of the needed resources. The third fundamental question is who will get the goods and services? Consumers with the ability and willingness to pay will get the product and it depends on household income. The fourth fundamental question is how will the system accommodate change? The changes in consumer tastes is to fulfill customers' preference on specific pattern, design, and customer sovereignty. Secondly is changes in advanced technology where businesses may purchase new machines to produce more products. And thirdly, changes in resource prices where business choose the least cost technique in production. The fifth fundamental question is how will this system promote progress? It is through the adaptation to consumer tastes and preferences, allocation and market of resources, adaptation to technological advances, and capital accumulation. Secondly is the economic system, the invisible hands. The invisible hands is a metaphor when economists identify means for the unseen forces that move the free market economy. It describes the self-regulating nature of the free marketplace. The invisible hand guides entrepreneurs to fulfill self-interest, and the profits obtained does not benefit the economy and operate within the framework of a highly competitive market system. Businesses use the least costly combination of resources to produce a specific output based on their private interest to generate maximum profit in production. An invisible hand also guides businesses and firms to help in maximizing society's output and income when independent firms and achieve their maximum profits and maximize the income of resources buyers. The merit emphasis on virtues of the market system based on the three main points, that is efficiency, which resources are used efficiently to generate great result from scarce and limited resources to produce goods and services wanted by the society. Secondly, incentive is to encourage skills acquisition, hard work and innovation, which with greater skills and effort, which can produce greater production and incomes and of course a higher standard of living. Thirdly is freedom, which emphasizes on personal freedom, on running enterprise and decision making. Also, entrepreneurs able to further their own private interests. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Sakinah binti Syafi'i. My metric number is 2027198. The common economic system is also known as socialism or communism. The government owns the majority of the property resources under a common system, and economic decisions are made through a central economic plan. The common economic system is defined by public control of all property resources, and economic choices are decided through central planning. The common structures of the Soviet Union and pre-reform China were destroyed due to coordination problems induced by central planning and a lack of financial motive. Because of the coordination issues, there were obstacles, inefficiencies, and a focus on a small number of items. Product improvement, new product creation, and entrepreneurship were all hampered by the motivation problem. The Soviet Union and North Korea are the most commonly identified examples of common economies. A mixed economy preserves private property and provides some economic freedom in the use of capital, while also allowing governments to interfere in economic activity to accomplish social goals. Mixed economies are less efficient than pure free markets, according to neoclassical theory. However, proponents of government engagement argue that in context, the essential conditions for efficiency in free markets cannot be reached. United States of America is one of countries of mixed economies. Capitalism, communism, and mixed economics all take a strictly materialistic approach to economics with little regard for human social life. However, under the Islamic system, Muslims are obligated to live a material life in such a manner that it becomes a source of satisfaction and respect from others in this world in order to secure oneself for the future world. It was decided that capitalists and communists are materialistic in nature, seeking merely to satisfy the material desires of the people. However, the Islamic economic system is a formal alliance of materialism and spiritualism.
My name is Fatina Jiha binti Ngadiran with metric number 2017154. Next is how business deal with risk. Business owner needs to develop method when managing a business in order to reduce risk. This is part of entrepreneur ability that's stated in resources categories. Market system risks such as natural disaster can affect producing product. Consumer preferences can shift rapidly and input shortages. The first method for managing risk is profit system. The profit system guides the business ownership to make rational decisions. This system is the loss and profit system. It is because when they choose a good decision while managing risk, they can make a profit. However, they may be at loss if they make the poor choice. Next is shielding employees and suppliers from business risk. In the market system, employees and suppliers are shielded from business risk. It is because before starting work in a company, the firm owner will offer a salary contract that promises to pay the employee's salary every month, whether the company incurs a loss or a profit. In the same way to the suppliers, they have to pay on time to them or to local bank. In this situation, the firm's owners are called residual claimants. After all other parties have been paid, owners receive claim. Whatever profit or loss remains is residual. When firm owners dealing with losses, they are not legally to share in the profits. It is their rewards for bearing business risk. Next, benefits of restricting business risk to owners. First major benefit is attracting inputs. Many people do not like risk and are not prepared to face it. This also includes employees and suppliers. Risk concentration to the owners is preferred as they are not concerned with the firm's profit. Therefore, they supply their resources to the firm. When the firm has a sense of security, it is easy for firm to attract labor and other inputs. Second major is focusing attention. Firm owner can hire a skilled manager to do specialized tasks of managing business risk, so that the profit system helps to achieve prudent risk management. Next, the Islamic economic system. In Islamic economic, main focuses all the economic activities have to be done within the boundary of Sharia. This is the rules and regulation of Islam. Decisions are not made according to demand and supply, but it is done in order to reach falah in this world and hereafter. The distinctive feature of Islamic economic system. First, prohibition of riba. Payments of interest are not allowed because it leads to injustice and forbidden in Islam. Second, philosophical foundation. As a servant of Allah, we need use scarce economic resources in the best possible way, and we have the responsibilities to use them in efficient way. Third, nature of man and his creation. Human beings are created as vicegerent. Allah entrusted them with his resources and distributes equal proportion to other people. Fourth, extended time horizon. We need to remember whatever we do will be asked by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala in hereafter. So, economic activities must align with the principles of Sharia to be balanced in both hereafter and the world. Fifth, relative ownership of property. Allah is the absolute owner of all these resources. This is a human responsibility and obligations in the use of all these resources in efficient way. 6. The concept of shura, mutual consultation to make decision making based on the truth and justice. 7. Institutions of Al-Hisbah. This act as regulatory body in the market. It supervises the activities of different market participants. The person who administers the institution of Al-Hisbah is known as Muhtasib. Next, the common features of Islamic economic system. First, institution of property ownership. A trustee has to assume responsibility to utilize these resources in best possible ways according Sharia. Second, motivational factor. To attain falah in this world and hereafter. Third, organization of decision making. Shura is a supreme body of decision making that follow the Sharia. Fourth, coordination mechanism. Islamic states must interfere in the market and correct the distortion and direct operation according to Islamic rules. Important criteria in economic system. First, maslahah. Seeking something useful, manfaat, or removing something harmful, madarah. In Islamic economic, harmful product cannot be produced by producer. It is to follow the maqasid as-syariah by aiming to protecting others, so that Islamic economic achieve this criteria. Second, productive efficiency. Producing a product or a service at least cost. There is competition in the capitalism and Islamic market. All producers try to reduce costs to save them from out of the market. Both market meet this criteria. Third, allocative efficiency. Producing goods and services that society wants. Islamic economic system achieve allocative efficiency only within the constraint of maslahah. If the product wanted by society, they will not be produced under the Islamic economic system.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Kashfir Aziz bin Zainuddin. My metric number is 2028077. So my part is the circular flow model. So in the first slide, what is the circular flow model? The circular flow model is an economic model that presents how money, goods and services move between sectors in an economic system. The flows of money between the sectors are also tracked to measure a country's national income or GDP. GDP means that gross domestic product. So the model is also known as a circular flow of income. The most common form of this model shows the circular flow of income between the household sector and the business sector. Between the two are the product market and the resource market. Household purchase goods and services which businesses provide through the product market. Businesses, meanwhile, need resources in order to produce goods and services. Members of household provide labor to businesses through the resource market. In turn, businesses convert those resources into goods and services. In this slide, we talk about four factors of production. The labor, the land, the capital, and also the entrepreneur. So, labor, what is labor? Labor are workers. The factor payment for labor is referred to wages. The second one is land. Land, this include that land that is rented or purchased, as well as other components like natural resources and raw materials. The factor of payment for land is referred to as rent. So the third one is capital. This is money used to buy the tools that labor implement to convert land into goods. The factor payment for capital is called interest. So the last one is entrepreneurs. These are the people who put the other three resources together to create a successful business. The factor payment for entrepreneurs is called profit. In the last slide, we talk about two-factor circular flow model. How an economy runs can be simplified by two cycles flowing in opposite directions. One is goods and service flowing from business to individuals, and individuals provide resources for production, which is a labor force, back to the businesses. In the other direction, money flows from individuals to businesses as consumer expenditure on goods and services, and flow back to individual as personal income, which is wages, dividend, etc., for the labor force provided. This is the most basic circular flow model of an economy. In reality, there are more parties participating in a more complex structure of circular flow, such as three factor and four factor circular flow model. So the conclusion for this video is economic system are the means by which country and governments distribute resources and trade goods and services. They are used to control the five factors of production, including labor, capital, entrepreneurs, physical resources, and information resources. There are various types of economic system that we learn from this video. Uh, Economic system are grouped into traditional, common, market, and mixed system. Traditional system focus on the basic of goods, services, and work, and they are influenced by tradition and belief. A centralized authority influences common system, while a market system is under the control of forces of demand and supply. Lastly, mixed economies are a combination of command and a market system.